You can feel the electricity of this is a Crucible. And nothing would have the atmosphere that this place has got. It's just absolutely unique, absolutely incredible. What a place to play your best snooker. It's just you and the table. That's what it's all about. And obviously having won it 7 times, my pipe and slippers aren't under the table, but they used to be for a time. Hi guys, I'm sure you can recognise where I am. I'm at the Crucible Theatre, the venue for the World Championship, the best place in the world to play snooker. Anyway, let's have an all-access area tour to the Crucible Theatre. This is one of the dressing rooms. This is actually Mark Selby's dressing room. Back when I was playing here and competing and say it was a final, you're in your dressing room. Basically all I would do was like read a newspaper, or I wouldn't do anything special. There wouldn't be any mad rider or what I'd have to have in my dressing room. Back in the day, the walls were so thin that you could quite often hear players talking to their managers and stuff. And the next, Jimmy was an example. I heard his manager talking to him one time in a final, and it's quite funny actually, listening to what your opponent and everything's saying. And then it would be the final knock on the door, where it would be like, and it would be, Stephen, okay, time to go. So this is the walk from the dressing rooms to the arena. So you're full of nerves, trying to look cool. The slow walk through. This here is a bit of a kind of a holding bay, really. Players kind of hang out here, waiting for. If there's 4 players, you're waiting for each one to be introduced to the audience. So, first one will be out. You'll be standing here. You see it now. You see players are standing here with a cue, nervous, ready to go out. Sometimes they're chatting to each other, which I can't understand, because I wouldn't be able to chat to anyone when I was waiting here, because you're so focused. You're nervous, but it's good nerves. You're focused, but the last thing you want to do is chat to other players. Anyway, first 3 players have gone out, or if it's just a final, 1 player has just gone out. John Parrott, I've played him. He was out first. John, quick one. I know you're desperate. How do you feel when you're waiting to go out?
It's the worst 20 minutes of your life. Absolutely terrible. You're reading the paper, you have a cup of tea, you don't really know what to do with yourself. People come in, you don't really listen to what they're talking about. It's the most horrible 20 minutes of your life. The toilet cubicle is the most it's the most used in Britain, let me tell you.
But don't go in after Steve.
Absolutely, never going after Steve. Don't know what he used to eat, but it was a shocker.
Cheers, John. You're not quite introduced to the arena yet. You're just kind of taken to another holding bay, as it were. Now, from there, you're now here. The MC is going through his stuff, building you up, saying what you've won, introducing the crowd. You can feel the electricity of this is a Crucible, especially when, as we're going to see, 1 table. It's just unbelievable. So you can feel electricity, and finally you hear your name, and then it's walk. There would be someone here to open the curtain for you. And then it's basically, you walk into this wall of noise.
So ladies and gents, let's say a very good afternoon to the man who's been before 7 times, Stephen Hendry.
Obviously when I was playing Jimmy, it'd be a wall of Jimmy fans in the final. But you obviously you stand up, you kind of, acknowledge the crowd, and then even if you're in that chair over there, I think I remember you have to walk this way, which is kind of the long way round. But yeah, it's you're getting obviously the attention from the crowd, the atmosphere. It's probably the most nervous you are, actually, because once play starts, once you get your hand on the table, sort of everything sort of disappears. It's so different to when it's two tables. 2 tables, you've got your opponent sat here, and to try and not make eye contact and try not make conversation, and because you don't want to make conversation. Well, I didn't want to make conversation, so you try not to even make any eye contact. I think 1986 was my first time. I'm sure there was still smoking allowed, and so you could be sat next to someone who smoked, which was very strange. But yeah, it's very, very claustrophobic, this, because, I mean, you can see how close the crowd are, as in now, with just one table. It's quite a long way to walk. I mean, it's bare, isn't it? I mean, there's nothing really. Other venues have flowers and all sorts of stuff to try and make it look pretty, but it's pretty stark. But listen, when you get here, it's just you and the table. That's what it's all about. Nothing would have the atmosphere that this place has got. It's just absolutely unique. This is definitely one of the times when I'm here with a microphone working for the BBC in the World Championship, and you're at the final night and players walk out. You have tinges of jealousy seeing them walk out to play snooker in this place, because this is what it's all about, Crucible Theatre.
Fantastic venue. It's a lovely spot, lovely city, great people, and it's a great spot to come to watch the snooker.
We really love it over here. The atmosphere is great. Even if you're not inside, you can watch it over here. So we just arrived, but we're already enjoying ourselves.
Snooker, it's a special place.
Yeah, what it means to every player around the world to get to come, you know, it's nothing like it. You know, it's just so specific to snooker, and yeah, I hope it stays there for many years.
Annual pilgrimage, isn't it? It's just I come every year. It's just
special place.
Am I going to be on the internet?
It's just perfect for watching a game of snooker. It's fantastic whether you're in the front row or the top row. It's just fantastic. Yeah.
That's Stephen Hendry's autograph.
There you go.
You've picked on the right person.
Obviously, I work here for the BBC as a pundit and commentator on the World Championship. You can see there's 2 commentary boxes, because obviously we have 2 tables for the first round, second round and quarterfinals. Actually, when it goes down to 1 table, the BBC use this one, and Eurosport come and use that one there. You can see there, we'll have a look inside, a closer look, but that's our BBC little studio. Okay, Combox time. If you guys have seen the access all areas to the last one we did behind the scenes, Combox is pretty similar. I would say that the little bit difference between the BBC coverage and ITV coverage is we have this telestrator, which allows us to say someone's trying to get over snooker. I don't really do it a lot because Dennis and JV are a lot better than me, but you can actually draw the lines on the table to see where how players are going to get out of the snooker, where they're going to put the cue ball. So yeah, that's the sort of big difference between the BBC coverage and the ITV coverage, but otherwise it's pretty much the same stuff. But as you can see, great view of the Crucible Theatre, and yeah, best view in the house, really. Best view in the house. Welcome back. He can get through the cue ball, this player. Played that shot that you mentioned with a lot of right-hand side, and it caused him to miss the red. Oh, that is unbelievable how good that cueing is. At the minute, he's out Luca Brazil.
Yeah.
With his attacking snooker.
This is outrageous.
And I think the added thing, John, that both these players are capable of the odd easy miss makes it even more better to watch, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
No.
Oh, well, as you say, the easy miss, where did that come from?
Well, I said it wasn't a great chance to win the frame in one visit. It is now.
Well, he played it to the far corner. I thought that was a more difficult option. Is he going to get away with it? Is he going to leave it? Is he going to drop in the pocket? He's left it.
I can't believe he's played for it in the far corner. I really can't.
In goes the black. What a session of snooker that was. It had absolutely everything. It's made for the Crucible Theatre. The drama. What a great session that was, wasn't it?
Right.
Enjoyed that.
Yeah, so did I. You couldn't take your eyes off it.
Yeah, lovely. And plus the fact, as I mentioned, you commentate about a break building shot and bang,
yeah, plays
it straight away.
This is very weird because normally you're putting a microphone in my face or someone's face when they've just lost or won. How hard is that when someone's you did Ronnie, he lost in the World Championship. How hard is that?
Well, it depends on the context in which they've lost. And yes, this is weird. You've thrown a microphone to me. But I was okay about that with Ronnie because you get the impression, I think, that Ronnie really respects the way Luca plays. But yeah, if you're having to interview someone off the back of a 17-16, you have to think quite...
You have to sense the mood.
Oh yeah, and you don't always get it right. Mark Williams rightly so, savaged me last year when he lost in the decider to Judd Trump, because it was a little bit of both. I asked a slightly awkwardly worded question and he was in a bad mood, and he and I get on really well, and he said to me on air, "That's the most stupid question I've ever been asked." It wasn't, but he was hurting, and I was the person to whom he could vent.
So tell me this, it's unbelievable, this guy does every session from the first morning till the final, 3 sessions a day, and you would never know which session it is because it's the same enthusiasm, the same application, everything. How do you do it?
Well,
are you human?
Nah, it does get tiring, and of course there are certain mornings, especially where you're back there and you think, I'm so tired.
But it helps. It's always packed here. That helps. Must do.
And also, for the vast majority of the people sitting there, that session is something they've looked forward to for weeks and weeks and weeks or months. So you owe it to them, as well as the players waiting backstage, that when you give an introduction, it's full of energy, and that you genuinely mean what you say. Because audiences might say, "Oh, well, this guy's a bit cheesy," and it is cheesy sometimes. But the one thing I like people to not be able to say about me, I like them to look and go, "Okay, I don't particularly like that guy's style, but he's genuine. He means what he says." So you have to spend some time backstage going, "Do you know what? Right, it is a bit of a performance. I am tired. I have done 25 introductions already, but I've got to get out there."
That, folks, is why he is the greatest MC of any sport just now living today. Rob Walker, you're a legend. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for your time. We'll have a walk around now to see the TV studio and practice room. All right, guys? All right. I mean, how cool is that view? I said that the comms box was the best view in the house, but if you're in this seat, I mean, sometimes you're in that seat, which is maybe, if you're on a plane, maybe this is 1A and that's 1B, I don't know. But you've got to be so still because, as you can see, if I'm sat here, a player's potting a ball to this corner pocket closest to me, and say I just decide to go like this, just as he's on the shot, a player sees that. So you've got to be very, very careful in here. Okay, guys, this is through to the practice room. It's pretty quiet just now. There's also a TV studio where we do the highlights at night, sometimes till after midnight. But yeah, there's obviously a routine that a player's had. Quiet just now. It's 20 to 5, so the evening session starts at 7, so I would say players wouldn't be here till 6:15, 6:30. Yeah, I used to turn up half an hour before, and you just come in, and it's basically just 5 minutes, 10 minutes just to get you loosened up. Everything's so tight at the Crucible. I remember the first time I ever came, I just think, there's just no room anywhere. But I suppose it's what makes the Crucible what it is. We'll go now to it's called the Champions Lounge. It's where players, commentators, there is a players' lounge. It's at the other end of the Crucible, but this is kind of where, because it's close to the practice room, the dressing rooms, stage doors just underneath. So this is why this is really handy, this one. It's actually not as plush as you would think. When you think the title, Champions Lounge, you're thinking maybe quite a real plush lounge, but it's functional, shall we say. The reason it's called the Champions Lounge, you have all the champions. I don't know why they didn't get a more modern picture of me. They have to have the mullet on there. It's very disappointing, but yeah, this is where when we're commentating at an interval, we've got 15 minutes interval, this is where we'll come up, grab a coffee, grab a drink. As I say, players will come up here from time to time, chill out, because it's very close to the practice room and the dressing room. So it's not the Ritz-Carlton, but it'll do. I don't know if you can see here. So this is all the press cuttings for the whole World Championship. Basically, by the end of the tournament, these newspapers will go all the way along, basically the whole length of the corridor. Obviously, a lot of it's taken up by this nonsense, but this is the media centre, where all those newspapers get written, I suppose. Let's walk up here, let's see where we do the press conference. I suppose, nice place to be if you just won, horrible place to be if you've just lost. Yeah, that's actually where I sat and announced my retirement. That's the last time I was sat there, 2012, when I announced I wouldn't be playing snooker anymore. So
Hi, I'm Brendan Moore, referee for World Snooker and referee in the final of this year's World Championship. I mean, I play the game myself, but obviously not to the level of these guys. I know the shots that the players are going to play. The difference is I can't actually play them myself. So I know where to position myself because I know exactly what to do, but then there's a big difference in going to do it yourself.
Yeah. What's your highest break?
My highest break's still only 63. I got that 15, 20 years ago maybe.
And you're retiring at the end of the season.
Yep.
Yeah, emotional, be sad.
It'd be very sad, very emotional. I'm really looking forward to it. Like I said, to referee here at any point is an honour, but to do 3 World Finals, I just can't put that into words because it's only a small group that have refereed 3 or more. It'll be very emotional. I'm really looking forward to it, but equally dreading it, knowing that it's my last time. I just know that as someone gets towards the 18th frame, it's going to be hard holding it in, knowing that it's the last time I'm going to say and the match at this venue. So yeah, it's going to be really special, really emotional, and I just can't wait.
Okay, let's head out to front of house. I think the Players' Lounge is... No, that's the Crucible Kitchen. Yeah, I don't even know where anything is. Or is that the Players' Lounge? That's the Players' Lounge. Ah, we'll go and see the Players' Lounge, somewhere I've not been for years. This is the Players' Lounge, but as you can see, there's no players in here. So I don't know why they call it the Players' Lounge, but it's a lot nicer than that Champions' Lounge where I sit, I tell you. Sometimes before a final at the World Championship, the 2 players would be brought up this way because you'd walk down from the back of the arena to be introduced. The main foyer, merchandise, trophies. Let's see if these doors are open. So yeah, this is where the public come in to watch, and it kind of tells you how, even though you could be at the back row, what a good view you still have of the match. Yeah, it's just anywhere you sit, you're getting a great view, and especially when it's one table. I mean, this is just incredible now. When this place is packed, I don't know if you can see over there, so those doors way over there, on the final night, that's where the finalists will walk down those stairs and into the arena. It's it's a special place. I hope you've enjoyed that access all areas backstage at the Crucible, something that you might not have seen before. It's been an incredible tournament actually, lots happening. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this little tour of the Crucible, and as usual, if you did enjoy it, please like and subscribe. See you next time, guys.